All right, so we got a new money method inside of Grow Garden, and you got to take advantage of this now because this uses both a pet that you probably can't get it now because, you know, it's limited, but I'll show you how to get the pet. It goes with a limited seed that is going to be through the crafting, and it also uses a current active glitch to actually make this fully worth it. So pretty much what we're going to be doing for this is, I will note once again, as always, when it comes to grinding money, this will be better if you have raccoons, and if you don't, people in my Discord server do the raccoon method where they split like profits 50-50. So make sure you check out the Discord server for stuff in regards to that. So one thing to note is with this, it does have a bit like a pre-fire stuff you need to do beforehand, and one of those is going to be the like stuff you need for this. So we're going to be using this one for this, and this one is going to be none other than the nectar thorn. Now nectar thorn will require 2 cactus plants, a cactus seed, a nectar shade seed, and 20 honey to craft. I do have all of this, I believe. Cactus, and then I can clear my inventory just a tad, and then the seed, which was a nectar shade. So I'll also show you how to get all this crap. So the nectar shade is going to be obtained from this thing right here. So it's going to be in the queen bee. So this is one of the items that's always in stock. So when I talk to you, want to trade honey, it's going to be this one right here. Okay, never mind. Not always in stock. The other one's always in stock. This one is very frequently in stock though. So just note that. Very helpful. Then you're also going to need 2 cactus, I believe. Okay, so that should be 2 cactus. There we go. That's a cacao, not a cactus. And there we go, 2 cactus. So now we're gonna craft this Johnson. Craft, boom, bam, there we go. Then it'll start crafting. I'm just gonna skip the timer just for the video so you can see it. We're gonna boop, bam, buy it, skip, bam, boom. Now we got it, claim. Now we got the nectar shade, or no, not nectar thorn seed. Pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm gonna find a decent spot to place this just so you can see it better. So the reason why this one's very overpowered for money is we'll go over that in a second. I'm gonna place it down. We get watering cans. No, that's watermelon. Put some water on that thing. So this thing looks kind of weird. Yeah. So what we're going to be prioritizing with this thing is, so it isn't that high of a rarity. As you can see, it's like only a legendary, but it is once again usable of many other things. But the one thing that we do note is once it starts growing, this is when I think it grows inside of this section right here. We're going to be using the hedgehogs or the blood hedgehogs. So I have not updated this web page in a minute, but you can still use it. So over on my pets thing, you can search pets. Pet, yeah, it doesn't really work. Dog, yeah, it doesn't work. But okay, it'll buff. Never mind. Okay, don't go to the website. I'll have to fix that later. So what we're gonna look at is the blood hedgehog. So if I can find one, succulent. Okay, let me pull up blood hedgehog. Hedgehog, if this is, you haven't deleted all of them. In the pet section, normal hedgehogs work for this as well. I'm pretty sure I'm holding all my active pets on an alt account right now. Anyways, that's embarrassing. What we're gonna look at is the pet, what its ability is, right? So let's just use this page. So this was a mythical rarity, I believe, or a legendary. No, yeah, legendary rarity from the blood moon. So you can trade for this. People trade a lot of these. So another reason you should join the Discord server. Alongside, we have, you know, the trading server. As you see, this person is trading, boom, 6 blood hedgehogs. And then we got a stock notifier, notifies you on the stock, egg stock, gear stock, and weather events. So you should check that out. Very helpful, in my opinion. Also, if Discord, you can't use Discord on my website, what does work is you can see a live stock. So you can see the livestock from the website if you can't use Discord. You also have a calculator so you can calculate the values of plants and everything all inside here. So you can see a pumpkin. If said pumpkin had rainbow shocked, frozen, you know, these mutations, it would be worth that much, right? Really cool. Definitely you should check that out. That'll once again be in the description. But so once you have these items, so the one thing once again is if you don't have these plants or seeds, I would recommend waiting for this to come in stock, buy it, because once again, frequently cactus is a frequent item in stock. If I just scroll a bit through the stock section in our Discord server. Also, we got a Discord server tag, so that's cool. Anyways, though what this pet does is, so it has what's called sanguine spikes, makes prickly fruits grow bigger with a higher prickly fruit variant chance. So pretty much what this means is, I think it's like directly is like a 2x or something. So yeah, it grows plants off of it. But what this does is every so often it'll take 20, or it makes it like 2x or twice as big. So it'll make your plants 2 times as big, I believe, which is like the direct value. So 2 times as big on these plants. Why is this one purple? But it'll make them them 2 times as big. And when they're also 2 times as big, that just makes it so much easier. And you do that. And I think this is a passive that just affects them rather than, you know, it being like you have to wait for that to happen. So what you can do is use that and then the sprinkler method to make these plants huge or massive, right? And you'll get great value out of that, and they will be chungus. Then fourth, you can start stacking on mutations. So I'm going to be using, once again, my website for the calculations I make in this video. But reason why, come on over to the website. As you see, if we want to scroll down, I think I can just select crafting event. We're using the nectar thorn, has a base sale value of 30,000, which is decent. Nectar thorn is around that. So if this was twice the size by base, it would be like 11.4 or so. So it'd be around 100,000 base sale value, which is absurd. Now, if we got this rainbow, shock, you know, all the good ones that are actually obtainable, right? This, probably burnt realistically. Now it's worth, boom, 2 billion. Now, if you have a friend boost, boom, 3 billion. Now, if it's actually like really big, so you did the sprinkler method and say it's, let's just give it a generous 5 times the normal size that it's at currently. So let's give it like a 55 kg. We're looking at a, boom, 80 billion. Got a blood moon. Oh yeah. But the reason why we're going to be using, this plant in specifics is because, once again, it is affectable by this item. So this item can, or this pet can directly affect this one, which is why I think it's the best. And then you're going to obviously use these things for, you know, I'd honestly just recommend this one to direct that thing. And then since it is I don't think it's affected by any sprinkler, which is depressing, but once again, basic sprinkler method, use basic plants, pets, and all that. And you should be able to get this thing selling for billions. And also, if you do want to single this out, since this is actually very easily obtainable, you can single this out on an alt account, and instead of having to delete your whole base, you can single it out on your alt account and grind it with raccoons, or once again do the raccoon method with an alt account on if someone else wants to do it from, like, say, a Discord server or something. But pretty much that is definitely going to make you a lot of money. It is easily obtainable and farmable. Now, for example, if you're going to push the limits, you know, push past your limits, and say we're going off the base that this moon melon is like way bigger than the normal size moon melon. So a normal moon melon is like 7 point something, I think. So if I'm just going to quickly check this just so I can, you know, give you all best value to assume you're going to be able to make with this method. Moon melon's worth is a base of 7.6. So moon melon is a base of 7.6. Mine is 200 kg divided by 7.6, 26x multiplier, 20. So if it's multiplied by 26x or whatever, say we're using the nectar thorn with a 5.76. So if we do a times, hold on, stick with me, 5.7, 148. So if we got this thing to 100 and just say 50, right? 150, you'd be looking at that. If you rainbow, shocked, frozen, chocolate, moonlit, bloodlit, celestial, disco, zombified, pollinated, honey glazed, and burnt, you'd be looking at roughly with a friend boost about 600 billion in base value. So super overpowered. That's way more than mine is. So arguably going to be one of the better strategies for grinding money, to say the least. And alongside that, we can definitely assume that this plant is not going to come back, because once again, it's an event fund for the crafting thing. So do make sure you take advantage of this. And once again, you can easily become a trillionaire off of this. Once again, if you just got 2 of these absolutely decked with mutations, you could make a trillion off of just those 2. But yeah, so keep grinding, and yeah, we got the update.